Deep in the heart of West Africa, a powerful empire once flourished. The Oyo Empire, renowned for its military prowess, sophisticated political structure, and vibrant culture, left an indelible mark on the pages of history. For centuries, the Oyo Empire dominated a vast swathe of land, influencing trade, shaping artistic traditions, and impacting the lives of millions. This is the story of the Oyo Empire, its humble beginnings, its glorious zenith, and its eventual decline. It's a tale of ambitious rulers, skilled warriors, and a rich cultural tapestry woven into the fabric of West Africa. The Oyo Empire may be a distant memory, but its legacy continues to resonate, reminding us of the power and grandeur of African civilizations. Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the captivating history of the Oyo Empire and its lasting impact on the region we know today as West Africa. If you enjoyed this video, please like and support our channel, Africarized. Our story begins in the fertile lands of what is now southwestern Nigeria, where the Yoruba people laid the foundations of the Oyo Empire. According to oral traditions, the empire's origins can be traced back to the late 14th century. A prince named Oranmiyan from the neighboring kingdom of 𝐂𝐤𝐭𝐡 is said to have founded the city of Oyo-Ile, the empire's first capital. Oyo-Ile, strategically located in a well-watered and fertile region, provided an ideal base for the nascent empire. The early Oyo rulers, known as the Alafins, were ambitious and sought to expand their influence. They gradually brought neighboring Yoruba city-states under their control, laying the groundwork for a powerful kingdom. The early period of the Oyo Empire was marked by a gradual consolidation of power and territorial expansion. The Alafins, through a combination of diplomacy and military might, forged alliances and subdued their rivals. They established a centralized system of government, with the Alafin at its apex, and began to lay the foundations for a powerful military force. The stage was set for the rise of the Oyo Empire as a dominant force in West Africa. The 16th and 17th centuries witnessed the dramatic rise of the Oyo Empire. A succession of ambitious Alafins led the empire through a period of rapid expansion, transforming it into a formidable power in West Africa. One key factor in Oyo's expansion was its powerful cavalry. The Oyo Empire's access to horses, a rarity in the southern forests, gave them a significant military advantage. Oyo warriors, mounted on horseback and armed with swords and lances, could cover vast distances and launch devastating attacks. The Oyo Empire's military expansion was not just about brute force. The Alafins were astute diplomats and strategists. They formed alliances with some Yoruba kingdoms while subjugating others. They also developed a sophisticated system of administration to govern their expanding territories. By the 17th century, the Oyo Empire stretched from the Benin Empire in the east to the Volta River in the west, encompassing a large portion of modern-day Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. The 18th century marked the zenith of the Oyo Empire's power and influence. This was a golden age of prosperity, artistic flourishing, and political stability. The empire, at its peak, controlled major trade routes, commanded a formidable army, and exerted influence far beyond its borders. At the heart of Oyo's economic prosperity was its control of the trans-Saharan trade. The empire became a major hub for the exchange of goods between north and south. From the north came salt, dates, silks, and firearms, while cola nuts, ivory, gold, and unfortunately enslaved people were transported northwards from the south. This flourishing trade brought immense wealth to the Oyo Empire, enriching its rulers and fueling its continued expansion. The Alafins used this wealth to patronize the arts, leading to a blossoming of Yoruba culture. This period saw the creation of exquisite bronze and terracotta sculptures, intricate weaving patterns, and the development of a rich tradition of oral literature. The Oyo Empire at its zenith was a sight to behold, a powerful and prosperous empire radiating influence across West Africa. Section 5. A military force to be reckoned with. The Oyo Empire's military prowess was central to its rise and dominance. It was a highly organized and disciplined force that instilled fear in its enemies. The Oyo army, known as the 𝐂𝐤𝐭, was renowned for its bravery and effectiveness. At the heart of the Oyo army was its cavalry. Horses provided speed and maneuverability, a significant advantage in the forested terrain. The cavalry, armed with swords, lances, and later firearms, formed the elite force. The Oyo army was not just about brute force, it had a clear chain of command and was divided into regiments. Each regiment was led by a commander reporting to the 𝐰𝐢𝐭𝐡, the field marshal. The army's success lay in its weaponry, organization, and the discipline of its soldiers. Young men underwent rigorous training, instilling loyalty and discipline. The Oyo Empire's military might secured its borders and protected its trade routes. Section 6. The fabric of society, culture, and economy of the Oyo Empire. The Oyo Empire wasn't just a military power. It was a vibrant society with a rich culture and a complex social structure. At the heart of Oyo society was the Yoruba people, known for their artistic traditions and religious beliefs. The Oyo Empire was a highly stratified society. At the top was the 𝐂𝐿𝐵, considered divinely appointed. Below him were the Oyo-𝐵𝐶𝐻, a council of 7 noblemen. Society included priests, traders, artisans, farmers, and enslaved people. Religion played a central role in Oyo life. They worshipped a pantheon of deities known as orishas. Rituals and sacrifices were performed to appease them. The Oyo Empire was also a center of artistic excellence. Yoruba art flourished under the patronage of the 𝐂𝐿𝐵s. Bronze casting peaked with life-size heads and intricate figures. The Oyo Empire's legacy continues to inspire and influence generations. Section 7. Cracks in the foundation, seeds of decline. By the late 18th century, the once mighty Oyo Empire began to show signs of strain. Internal divisions, external pressures, and a series of weak rulers gradually weakened the empire's foundations, setting the stage for its eventual collapse. One of the key factors contributing to Oyo's decline was the growing power of the Oyo-𝐵𝐶𝐻. Originally intended to act as advisors and a check on the 𝐂𝐿𝐵's power, the Oyo-𝐵𝐶𝐻 over time began to assert their own authority, often challenging the 𝐂𝐿𝐵's decisions and vying for greater control. This internal power struggle weakened the central authority and destabilized the empire. At the same time, external pressures began to mount. The rise of powerful neighboring kingdoms such as the Dahomey and the 𝐂𝐭𝐡 Caliphate posed significant threats to Oyo's borders and trade routes. These external threats, coupled with internal divisions and weak leadership, gradually chipped away at the empire's power and prestige. What was once a symbol of strength and prosperity was slowly crumbling under the weight of its own internal contradictions and external pressures. Section 8. The fall of an empire, internal strife and external pressures. The 19th century witnessed the tragic downfall of the Oyo Empire. The once mighty empire, weakened by internal strife and external pressures, crumbled under a series of devastating blows. The seeds of decline sown in the late 18th century had taken root, and the once mighty empire was now teetering on the brink of collapse. The final blow came from an unexpected source, a Fulani Islamic cleric named Usman Dan Fodio. In 1804, Dan Fodio launched a jihad, a holy war, aimed at spreading Islam and establishing an Islamic state in the region. The Fulani army, inspired by religious zeal and seeking to expand their territory, marched on Oyo, catching the empire off guard. The Oyo Empire, weakened by internal divisions and lacking strong leadership, was ill-prepared for the Fulani onslaught. The Fulani army, with their superior tactics and fueled by religious fervor, inflicted a series of crushing defeats on the Oyo forces. In 1835, the Fulani army captured and sacked Oyo-𝐿𝐵, the empire's capital, bringing an end to the once mighty Oyo Empire. Section 9. Oyo's enduring legacy echoes in modern West Africa. The Oyo Empire may have crumbled in the face of internal strife and external pressures, but its legacy continues to resonate in modern-day West Africa. The empire's influence can be seen in the cultural practices, political systems, and historical narratives of the region. One of the most enduring legacies of the Oyo Empire is its contribution to Yoruba culture. The empire's golden age saw a flourishing of Yoruba art, music, and literature, traditions that continue to thrive today. The Oyo Empire's legacy is visible in the intricate bronze castings, the elaborate masquerades, and the rich oral traditions passed down through generations of Yoruba people. The Oyo Empire's political system also left its mark on the region. The concept of a centralized government with a hierarchical structure and checks on the ruler's power influenced the political organization of subsequent Yoruba kingdoms. Even today, the Oyo-Ēmēsì, the council of chiefs that once advised the 𝐴làfin, has its echoes in the political structures of some Yoruba communities. The Oyo Empire may be a distant memory, but its legacy lives on in the cultural practices, the political systems, and the historical consciousness of the people of West Africa.